lovelies, and welcome to my channel. If you're new, welcome back to my channel if you're not new. Today on Simply Loren, I'm going to be teaching you how to jump. And I am really sorry about not posting recently. I have been super busy with school. I had 2 exams last week and then another exam I have upcoming this week. But I decided I'm going to take a break from all of that studying and finally film this video for you guys. I have a couple of different videos upcoming about how to do certain tricks as an intermediate skater at the skate park. But bear in mind that I am also learning with you guys. So if you guys have any of your own tips or tricks, be sure to leave them in the comments below. Also, go follow my Instagram if you're not already. That being said, let's get into the video. Okay, lovelies, so you might not be able to see my face while I'm doing this part of the video, but it's because I am filming with my tripod and I'm still trying to get used to like what angles that I can do and like how I can get everything in the shot. But one of the first things that I recommend you do as you are learning to jump is actually practice in the grass. And the first thing you're going to want to do is practice having your stance ready, knees a little bit bent, and you can put your hands out for balance if this helps. And you're just going to want to squat down like this. Squat down. I like to do this as a warm-up. It's really, really helpful for whenever I'm thinking about the motion of jumping. Also, I am keeping my body like level and straight so that I have all of my weight on top of itself, sort of like a spring does, opposed to like me being out here. See, I already lost my balance right there. Or like me being like this, because then I'm losing my balance. So you want to have that balance steady. Picture a straight line connecting your body area, and then down, up. Anyway, practice in the grass, and if you do feel like you need to fall, if you're lower to the ground, you have less space between you and that surface, so you're not going to fall as hard. Something that helps me a lot is thinking, okay, how can I stay low and utilize the parts of my body that are a little bit more fatty than something like my wrist. So for example, if I am going to fall, I feel like I'm getting wobbly, something that might help, you should have your knee pads on when you're doing this and learning. You can just knee down. So that way you can toe stop, knee down. You're already low enough to the ground where that's not too big of a deal. Opposed to like if you're standing up like this and then knee down, like it's a lot more dramatic of a fall, and you also are gonna hit harder on that concrete. Right now we're in the grass, so it's not like that scary, but when you're on the concrete, it hurts a lot if you fall. And especially if you fall on that tailbone. I will talk about a tailbone injury I had in another video, but anyway, so just gotta be safe. Make sure to have your pads on. When you're thinking about falling, I like to try to fall on my side body. So I'll put my knee down. That was a bad example. Like this. I'll put my knee down and then I'll try to roll to my side if I can. Or just in general, if I'm falling, down to my side. You don't want to fall on any parts of your body that are super fragile, like your fingers or your wrist. Anyway, that being said, we're in the grass, right? And once you get comfortable doing this on the grass, you can move to the street and do it. So let's do that now. So first thing you want to do is squat down like we did in the grass in one stable place. You're going to notice that your feet are going to want to wobble, and you're going to start feeling real tight in your hamstring, trying to keep yourself in the same spot. But just remember that feeling, because those are the muscles that we're going to be working. So you'll feel it in here. So you're going to go, same, so we're standing. So I'm just going to turn to the side so you can see. And you're going to just go down and up. I already want to roll forward, and that's okay. But if you're not ready to roll forward, just squeeze those muscles tight. Down and up. And I have to squeeze super tight because that way is a hill. Then when you're ready to, that's when you'll start rolling. Down, up, comfortably, while still rolling in the same direction. Then I suggest you pause in one part of the street. Make sure your area is clear. So you're gonna actually practice picking your feet up. Okay, so the first thing I think of is moving my heels off first. So here are my skates, moving the heel up. I don't do it that dramatically, but just so you guys can see it, that's what it feels like. So heel up. So when I'm first thinking about jumping, I'm picking up both heels. Both heels, just a little bit. Both heels. My toes are still on the ground, but I'm not pushing them on the ground so they stay on the ground. I'm just letting them be. If they come up, they come up. If they don't come up, then that's okay. I'm not gonna force it. But toes, I'm thinking kind of toes down, heel up. And the reason I'm thinking it that way is because I know that I have these brakes at the front of my skates. Mine are really low, but hopefully yours are pretty close to full. And that'll help you stop in case you do feel like you need to fall. And if you do need to fall, then you can fall on that side body. Okay, I know this is a weird angle, but I quickly wanted to get a shot of what it looks like to have your feet kind of up, what I was talking about earlier with that ankle. So and then you want to do little feet. First lift up one, then both. And then once I'm comfortable getting my heel up, you'll start to feel the front part of your skate want to come up anyway. So then you can start little jump, itty bitty jump. I'm not barely even getting maybe a centimeter off the ground. Little jump, little jump. And I'm doing those little jumps and I'm staying straight, but only because they're little jumps. The bigger the jump, the lower down you want to go to absorb it. After I'm comfortable in this stance, the standard stance, little jump. I think about it like football, quick feet. Quick feet in football looks kind of like this. Don't do that on skate, that's kind of hard. But it's like this whenever they're getting ready to drop down. I think of the same thing, but I'm just gonna jump. As far as the way they're standing is like this. So, little jump, little jump, little jump, little jump. And it's kind of hard to stay in one place since I'm on the hill, but you'll get it. Then once you're comfortable doing this in the street and rolling, you're gonna come back to the grass and you're gonna start practicing jumping. You don't have to jump very high when you first start. You can just literally take 1 foot off of the grass to start and practice that balance and practice that motion. Watch how that foot comes off the ground, goes back down. Same thing on the other foot. Maybe do that a couple times till you're comfortable in the grass so that your wheels are not moving. Then when you're ready, I like to think of going low first. Jump a little. Just get your skates off the ground. They don't have to go very high. Just jump a little bit off the ground. But notice how my body is staying straight. Now when I'm doing these little jumps, I'm not making much motion, so I'm staying still low. But when you are actually starting to jump, what I recommend is thinking about dropping to the ground, coming back up a little bit, and then dropping back down again. Because in the jump, in order to gain height, you gotta think going up. So I guess to explain that is, I'm gonna go low, and I'm gonna use that bounciness to spring up and come back down, and spring up and come back down. Similar to a jump squat, I guess. The reason you want to do it that way is because if you just go up, it's a lot harder on your knees and the rest of your bones. Like I can feel it in my knees when I do that, and it's not allowing any of the energy, is what I'm gonna call it. It's coming to a stop whenever you have it a straight body. But if you bend a little, you give it more space to like a spring and be bouncy, opposed to just having something go up and stop. So, like I said, you're gonna go down, pop up, go down, pop up, go down. Just like a jump squat at the gym, I like to think. And I think this is something that's really, really helpful to practice before you're rolling. So, once you get the hang of that idea, we can take it back to the concrete and actually start moving while we jump. So, let's do that now. So, once I'm comfortable doing that, then I'm gonna start going lower down. So I'm gonna do a bigger power jump. Low down, pop up, back down. Low down, pop up, back down. Low down, pop up, back down. And you just practice getting higher and higher each time. So low down, pop up. Well, that was almost bad because I didn't come down hard enough. I wanted to stay up. So if I stay up and my feet come apart, excuse me, sorry, and my feet come apart too far, I'm gonna start wobbling, which you don't want to. But if you feel like you're gonna wobble, go down. So, down, up, down, up. And if, see how I fell right there? That's why you wanna have your knee pads, first of all. Knee down, but I'm okay, because I did it slowly, I was under control, my legs were squeezed tight, and I'm okay. And I would've rolled this way, so it's okay. Once you're comfortable jumping in one spot, personally, I find it a little easier to roll and jump, but I can understand if it's like not the same for you. So I'm thinking of rolling, little feet down, little feet down, and I'm still rolling. Now, like I said, I'm on a hill, so it's a little bit slower, and this might help you if you have just a tiny slant to your road. That way you just don't automatically like roll the wrong way, and it's kind of actually pushing you back down, so you're not rolling too fast, I guess, if that makes sense. Then you can start practicing that. So down, up, down, down again to absorb it. I find also that I don't want to keep my feet too close together because I don't feel as sturdy if I'm standing kind of like this. The top part of me wants to flail out. I find a little bit more comfortable to be somewhat more like this so that I'm going down in a good way and not falling. So straight, down. I also find it helps to do this in the street and not on the sidewalk because you don't have to worry about the cracks. But when you get comfortable on the sidewalks, you can use those cracks as target marks. So I'm going to show you that. And I'm going to use one of these cracks as a target mark to jump. Like I said, as always, be sure that your spot's clear, but there's a line right here. And it's not too big. I would not pick a big line because you could get intimidated by the crack and you accidentally might hit it, and then worse, you tripped yourself out. So pick a line that is, there's a car, sorry. Pick a line that's pretty small to start off. And then if you want to increase that gap size, you can. But anyway, so here's a line for me. I'm gonna go, first I'm gonna go down over that line and back up, because that's where I want to jump. So I'm gonna go down over that line and back up. And that's just helping me to mark it. So I'm gonna go straight, down, little feet, back down again. Because we're gonna practice, the reason we're practicing marking a spot is because eventually I'm assuming you're gonna wanna jump over something, and you have to be able to tell when your feet are coming off the ground and if you're clearing that object. And so this is, I guess, a little bit of advanced prep if you're gonna jump over something, but you don't have to do that to start, obviously. So, there's your mark. Jump over the line. Woohoo! Yay! And then you just keep practicing until you get it. Now, when you want to add something to jump over, I don't recommend you do that on a sidewalk. I think you should do it on a flat surface street. And I mean, we can just go find something to jump over and practice clearing it. Start small and then get bigger as you go. You don't want to start with something big and then scare yourself, because for me, at least in my opinion, skating is both mental and physical. And if you mess up your headspace, you're not gonna wanna do it again, or you're gonna have a fear going about you every time you do it. So that's why you wear your padding. It's a lot of mental as well as physical, and then also that's why you don't want to scare yourself. So let's try this together. Come on. Okay. So here's a little pine cone thing I found on the ground. I'm gonna try to get it in the camera. That weird little pine cone thing. That's what I'm gonna jump over. So, little pine cone, mark it, little feet, and I covered it. Now obviously don't go over this stuff that I didn't clear, but you get the idea. And once you get more and more comfortable, you can start increasing that surface. So over here, there's a little bit of a dip in my sidewalk so that it goes down so that you could go over it with wheels, for example. I could start jumping over that. And then as those angles increase, let me show you what I'm talking about. As these angles increase in size, you can actually start jumping over them, jumping over them, jumping over them. But be careful because there's a slant. It's just an idea if you don't have anything else. I recommend that you try to find something else. But for those of you who don't have anything at all, except for maybe the sidewalk and the street, this is a good idea. Or you can grab something from your house and just use that as a way to jump. But that'll also start helping prepare you to jump on ramps. Obviously you want a clear path and not this kind of a path. But if you can find a little bit of just like an angle, it'll help you in case you're into park skating. But you don't have to do that at all. It's totally up to you and your preference and what you like to jump on. So, okay guys, hopefully that was helpful for you. If you have any questions, be sure to ask me in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe, like I said earlier, in case you already forgot. It helps me out figure out what kind of content to produce. So, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for your support. We're almost at 500 subscribers, which is amazing to me because I am learning with you. So thank you again, and love, Loren.